Welcome to the Marriott Center in Provo, Utah tonight out of the Mountain West Conference. The 2-1 Boise State Broncos against the 5-1 BYU Cougars from the West Coast Conference. To set the stage for tonight, we go back to November 21st of last year. BYU on the road at Boise State. That's TJ Haas with the steal and the layup. Alex Hobbs comes back to answer for Boise. We're all tied up, time winding down. Here's Jake Toulson, BYU sharpshooter, off the mark. We go to overtime, and that's where the Broncos took over. Robin George with the bucket, and then Justinian Jessup on the steal and the dunk. And the Broncos beat the Cougars 72-68, one of their biggest wins in non-conference play. Derek Alston had 26. So that was then. This is now. Dave McCann, Blaine Fowler, socially distanced here at the Marriott Center, ready for one of the best matchups out of conference play that BYU and Boise State have all season.
Yeah, and Boise State, a very athletic, long team. They look a lot like USC athletically. That's not good news for BYU, but it's a team of new faces for Leon Rice, and he's trying to figure out rotations just 3 games into the season. For BYU, it's the same thing. Wildly talented team with a lot of size. Mark Pope's still trying to figure out what everybody's role is going to be. So this will be a fun one with a lot of talent out on the floor. 2
really good scorers are in the spotlight tonight. There are impact players presented by Brady Industries, a provider of commercial cleaning supplies and equipment. Derek Alston, we mentioned he had 26 against BYU last year, and he's back for more.
Well, redshirt senior guard, 6'9", with great skills. A combo guard that can play with the ball in his hands. He can run the floor and finish. And think, 5 years ago, he came onto campus as a 6'9", 148-pound walk-on. You see his numbers for the season. Those are going to go up. I promise you that. Shooting percentage down a little bit, but remember, it's just 3 games. Before it's all said and done, this guy will average about 18 a game and lead this team. Great talent out on the wing.
Speaking of great talents, Alex Barcelo, BYU's senior guard, is shooting about as good as anybody in the country.
Alex Barcelo, no hesitation coming in this year and saying, okay, this is my team. I'm going to be the leader, and he has been phenomenal in that role. Shooting a crazy 61.8% from the field. So confident with the ball in his hands. And he's the one that runs this offense. He's the motor that makes this team go. Look at his numbers on the season. 19.2 points and 61.8% from the field. You kidding me with that one right now?
That's incredible. Alex Barcelo. The third member of our broadcast team tonight is Spencer Linton. Spencer.
Yeah, Dave and Blaine, it never hurts to have the guy on your team that is #2 in the nation in field goal makes to date in Alex Barcelo. For BYU, they're just hoping to get a little bit more help if and when Alex Barcelo is not having his typical night of averaging 20 a game. Enter Brandon Averett and Connor Harding, who are both averaging just under 10 points a game. It's also not a secret that the one game Alex Barcelo really struggled in, BYU lost mightily against USC. When he's doing his thing, the Cougars typically win. But if he's not himself, look for Brandon Averett and Connor Harding to be the guys that need to step up and help this BYU basketball team grind out some wins. Guys?
Thank you, Spencer. Averett from Oklahoma State, where he started. We got a lot of transfers that'll be on the floor here tonight. Our keys to the game are presented by Tim Dahle Nissan. Blaine, let's start with Boise State.
Well, Leon Rice told us that it all starts with rebounding for them because everything grows from there, especially their transition game. They got to clean the defensive glass and get out and run, and then defend the 3. He said BYU, especially in this building, if you can't find the shooters, you're going to have problems.
All right, and for the Cougars tonight.
Well, Mark Pope told us that transition D is big. We know Boise State wants to get out and run. Mark Pope says they got to get back, get to the paint, and especially defend the rim in transition. And then he said this is a team that will attack you. And so you've got to be able to guard without fouling and keep them off the line.
Those are the keys presented by Tim Dahle Auto Group, serving Utah since 1968. Our starting lineups are presented by Intermountain Healthcare, keeping the Cougs healthy as the official sports medicine provider for BYU Athletics. And we salute Leon Rice, picked up his 200th career victory the other night. He needs 13 more to become the all-time leader in wins at Boise State. I had a wonderful conversation with him today. He loves his team. Dennis Acott, Alston, Kejab, and Armish, the starting 5 for Boise State. For BYU and Mark Pope, 29 wins, 9 losses. He's in his 2nd season. Leon Rice in his 11th. It's Averett, Barcelo, Harding, Lohner, and the 7-3 transfer from Purdue, Matt Harms. BYU went 24-8 last year. Boise State 20-12. No postseason for either because of COVID. Those were two pretty good teams.
Yeah, we were ready to roll with the postseason, and it just never happened. So let's hope it becomes a reality this year for both of these teams.
Boise opened at Houston, lost by 10, and then they picked up wins over Sam Houston State. And then last Friday night, the College of Idaho, they picked up a game after a couple of COVID cancellations.
And both of these teams picked to finish second in their leagues. Of course, BYU picked to finish second behind Gonzaga, #1 in the country right now. And San Diego State was picked to win the Mountain West Conference again this season. And Boise State right behind them in the preseason rankings.
BYU will get San Diego State later in the month. Utah State picked third in the Mountain West. The Cougars beat the Aggies in Logan back on Saturday, 67-64. Just friends and family here in this massive Marriott Center. Cougars played in front of 1,600 fans Saturday night up in Logan, but it's a different county up there, and the COVID restrictions here in Utah County have kept the crowd away. Our opening tip-off is presented by Les Olson Company, your office technology partner. And we are ready to go here at the Marriott Center. BYU and Boise State. Armish and Harding, and Armish wins the tip. So much attention will be on Alston, #21. Key jab in the lane, matched up by Lohner. Here's Acott, became eligible the other night, had 9 against the College of Idaho, transfer from Arizona, sat out his time, and now he's ready to play. 4 on the shot clock, shot forced up, Lohner on the rebound.
And this Boise State team, they'll go after that offensive glass. Big challenge for BYU tonight to block out and to keep Boise State from having second chance opportunities.
Key jab takes it away from Lohner. Acott on the drive. And the foul will go against Acott. An offensive foul as Lohner held his position. And that's the first foul on the 6'8" junior out of Winnipeg, Manitoba.
And Boise State, they're at their best. Leon Rice said, you know, we're at our best when we're defending, rebounding, and getting out in transition. We'd rather have them getting early looks like this than being in the half-court offense. Unfortunately for Acott, called with the charge on that one.
Harding, Averett up for 3 off the front end. Harms taps it to Lohner. He'll pop a 3. And that one's off the mark. Caleb missed his first 13 threes on the season, but he hit 3 Saturday night at Utah State. A freshman finding his way. Kind of a young bull in a china shop, but Mark Pope telling us he is going to be really, really good. Acott, long on the shot, another offensive board. He'll try it again from the left side and knock this one down.
And there's 3 extra points, second chance points, 3 points right there, and that's what Boise State does. They're so long, so active on that offensive glass.
Barcelo averaging 19 points. Here's Harms. Fighting his way into the lane, gets it back from Alex. We got a foul down low, and it's Armish picking up his first. Aladdin Armish is a 6'10" junior out of Belgrade, Serbia, via East Tennessee State.
Big and physical down there, and it's been a fun matchup to watch the first couple times down the floor. He is trying to push Harms off of that low block. I like that Harms got the entry pass, threw it back out to the wing, and then reposted just a little bit deeper that time and drew the foul.
Now it's Lohner down on the block. Into the corner, Harms. Shot clock's at 7. Harding looks up, makes his move. In the corner, Averett up to beat the shot clock, and it's an air ball. A good defensive set by the Broncos. They've forced 61 turnovers through 3 games coming into tonight.
And the rotations were really good that time down the floor. BYU threw it into the post twice this time down the floor, and they did a great job of helping down low and recovering out for the shooters. Excellent defensive set for the Broncos.
Acott played a season and a half at Arizona. Went to Wasatch Academy, where Caleb Lohner went to school. That's in Pleasant View, Utah. Mount Pleasant, Utah. And there's a foul on Averett, trying to slow down Ray J. Dennis, sophomore out of Oswego, Illinois. Hit 18 at Houston in that season opener.
I think this Boise State team is going to be a better shooting team than they have been in these first 3 games. But what they can do to you is they play an attack. So they turn that corner, and they're constantly attacking and then kicking the ball. See, the attack and kick, attack and kick.
Key jab on the miss. Harms pulls it down for BYU. Harding driving baseline, the kick. Averett, another 3. And Averett cold to start tonight. Quickly down the floor, into the lane. And Key jab lays in his first 2. He's a transfer from Oregon. Lob for Harms, leaves it short. Armish pulls it down, 5-0. Boise State. Alston's hanging out in the corner, hardly touched the ball. Aycott for 3, and Harding corrals it. We will not see Marcus Shaver tonight. Still nursing his injury, and that's a loss for Boise State. BYU fans might remember Shaver from his 2 years with the Portland Pilots in the WCC. Barcelo still hasn't put up a shot yet, and another BYU turnover. And with that, Max Rice checks in, the coach's son, 6'5" sophomore out of Bishop Kelly High School in Boise.
I love when you asked Leon today about how it is to coach his son. He said, you know, I'm probably not really completely fair to him. He says, I probably err on the side of being too hard on him. He probably deserves more minutes than he gets. And I'll tell you, what Max has done this season, he's a great stabilizing force. He makes really good decisions out on the floor. He's a good distributor. He can score. Very versatile out there. And he probably does deserve more minutes, but Leon's going to be hard on him.
Derek Alston's first shot in off the glass. 7-0. Boise State. Trevin Nell into the game for the Cougars. Colby Lee in as well. Harding passes on the 3. Waits for Nell. Outstanding shooter. And he turns it over.
And right now, the length of Boise State giving BYU problems. With that length, they've been able to recover. They help, and they can recover the shooters. And how about Alston here, taking it all the way to the hole, the 6'9" guard, putting his team up 7-0 here in the Marriott Center.
BYU rolling a pair of 4s here early on. They're 0 for 4 from the field, and they've got 4 turnovers, down 7-0.
And that's the difference in the game. BYU's 0 for 4. Boise State's 3 for 7 right now. But Boise State, they've got a 3 on a second chance opportunity. They got an offensive board, kicked it out, and knocked down the 3. They've got 2 points off turnovers, where they took one of those turnovers and got a run out on the other end in transition. So that's 2 fast break points. So the difference in the ball game right now, Boise State a little more aggressive, you know, causing the 4 turnovers. BYU's got to handle the ball better, be a little more patient offensively, quicker with the ball. That ball needs to get less sticky for BYU on the offensive side.
Lucas Milner into the game. He's got the ball now for Boise State. Hands it over to Rice. Rice a double-double against the College of Idaho. Milner on the miss. Grab on the rim. Out come the Cougars. Barcelo is typically the one called on to get the lid off the basket, and he's fouled on the drive. Lucas Milner picks up his first. He's another 6'10" junior out of Kansas. And BYU with the ball out of bounds. Here's Lohner. Colby Lee. Back to Barcelo. The freshman for 3. Now 0 for 2 shooting distance. Spencer.
Dave, not a word was said about the three-point shooting or lack there from BYU during that last timeout, but there was a lot of coaching for the big men specifically. Cody Feger, one of Mark Pope's assistants, said, we need you guys to roll harder to the hoop and to be stronger with the ball down low, making specific reference to Matt Harms, kind of short-arming that layup attempt. So look for the bigs to roll harder out those screens and to try and secure the ball down low in the post against this physical Boise State team, guys.
Thanks, Spencer. First foul on Barcelo. Our officials tonight, Vern Harris, Deldrick Carr, and Kevin Brill.
And that's one of the things BYU didn't do well against USC. When USC, with their size and physicalness, defended their pick and rolls, BYU's bigs didn't go hard enough on the roll to the front of the rim, and Mark Pope talked to us about that. They need to do that tonight.
Harding back to Lohner. Now Nell. BYU still scoreless. Now Lohner wait for some help and double dribble. Bounced it to kind of regroup and then put it down again. 5th turnover on the Cougars. Aycott is back in, and Alston will come out for the first time. Armish returns, and Milner is out. Averett and Gideon George check in for BYU.
And 6 minutes into this first half, and BYU with way too many turnovers at this point with 5. A good goal would be 12 or under for the game. And they're at 5, 6 minutes in.
Dennis on the drive. Rice for 3. Knocks it down. And Max now 4 of 12 shooting threes. His first bucket of the game. And it is 10-0. This feels like the football game, only in reverse from November. Kobe Lee and Armish. Back to Lee. Likes that little one-hander. There it goes. And it's wild. BYU 0 for 6. Not even close.
Well, and Armish did a great job just standing behind and holding his ground. It made that an off-balance shot for Colby Lee.
Aycott on the miss. Now it is Averett running the show with Barcelo on the bench. Now it's Nell. Which Cougar out there has the courage to shoot? Harding will put up a 3, and that one's off the mark. George fighting for the rebound, steps out of bounds. And it'll be Boise State basketball. Well, Max Rice had 16 points and 12 rebounds against the College of Idaho. And here he drops in a 3. Had 7 against the Cougars last year. And knocks down the long ball.
Great spacing on the floor as they're turning the corner and attacking BYU's interior, their shooters. And in this case, Max Rice in a great spot, great spacing, so he's there to receive the open pass and knock down that 3.
Spencer Johnson into the game for the first time tonight for BYU as Barcelo and Harms return. Armish hands it over to Dennis. Another offensive board, and this one rolls in. And for Smith, his first 2.
Well, second chance points. That's 5 second chance points now for the Broncos. None for BYU.
Lob into Harms. Cougars wanting him to be so much tougher down there. Dennis with the one-handed dunk. And it's 14-0 Boise State.
Another turnover that turns into a run out. And BYU, hey, credit Boise State's defense here. BYU's not getting open looks, and they're playing passive compared to Boise State. Boise State aggressive to the ball over and over and over again. And the way they're hustling out to shooters and defending with physical presence inside. I'll tell you what, Armish has been really good inside with his physical presence.
Mark Pope told us he was curious to see about his team's fight. He didn't see that fight against USC. And he hasn't seen it here tonight either. At least not so far. Barcelo. Here's Johnson. Knocked away from behind. 13 seconds on the shot clock. We go to a timeout. And so far, BYU's being shut out. 14-0 Boise State. As the Broncos have come into Provo and they have set the tone early. Dennis with one hand. Down it goes. Back with more in a moment here on BYU TV. Well, here we are in December, and BYU is on the wrong end of a 14-0 run to open the game in over 8 minutes gone, Blaine.
Yeah, and Boise State has come out here, and they're the aggressor. Just like BYU came out on fire with a chip on their shoulder in the football game, this basketball team has come out and said, you know what? We're going to beat BYU to every loose ball. We're going to play physical.
Harms forces one up. BYU 0 for 8.
I'm telling you, Armish is playing a phenomenal game inside for the Broncos right now.
Dennis Pass in is stolen away. Gideon George hands it over to Johnson. Boise getting all of this done with just 2 points by Derek Alston. That's not a good sign for the Cougars. Here's Harms. Good pass by Barcelo. And with 11:19 to go in the first half, BYU gets its first field goal.
And that time, Harms got in behind Armish, and Barcelo's able to lob it over the top for an easy finish. If BYU's going to get back into this, this is where you get energy for your offense. You play lights-out defense, get some transition buckets, because those are easy as we watch. This time, Harms rolled hard to the basket after setting the screen, got in behind Armish, and was able to get the lob. But on this end of the floor is where BYU's going to have to climb back into this. They're going to have to get some stops, get out in transition, get some easy buckets to get things going.
Armish will pop a 3. That's why he doesn't shoot very many. And here come the Cougars. Alston's checked back in. Harms, on the other hand, is a big guy who can hit the 3. The lob for Harms and the foul. Back-to-back buckets for the 7'3" grad transfer from Purdue. And Harms will go to the line.
And we weren't in the huddle, but you think that Mark Pope said, hey, guys, we got a 7'3" guy out there. Let's get him in a position to get the ball at the rim. And they last 2 times have gone over the top of Armish, getting Harms in behind on the roll after the screen. And he converts on both, and now has a chance to make a 3-point play the old-fashioned way here.
Armish goes to the bench with his 2nd foul. Harms from the line, 3 of 6. Now 4 of 7. 5 unanswered for the Cougars. Now Averett try to slow down Dennis. Milner back into the game. He came in for Armish. Acot's got it. Spins, falling away, and leaves it short. Wyatt Lowell into the game, gets the rebound for the Cougars. Averett back to Harms. Lowell wants it, good out 3-point shooter, but a terrible pass by Barcelo, and BYU turns it over again.
Kijab that time got in good position to help. He dropped back down in and took that pick and roll away. That one needed to be lobbed as well.
Rice. Boise State has not been a great team shooting from the field on the season. Here's Lowell getting the 3. Rice on the rebound. And BYU's been so hot and cold, we figure that one team that comes out here warm is going to run away with this. And some lazy dribbling by Alston turns it over for Boise State as Richie Harward checks in. Harms will go out.
Averett has been a presence on the defensive end. Last couple times down the floor, he's upped the pressure, upped the energy on the defensive end, and given Boise State some problems. Give him some credit for that effort the last couple times down the floor.
3 turnovers for Boise State. We haven't seen Lowell for a few games. His conditioning's gotten better. Coming off that torn labrum surgery and recovery. Cleared just before the season opener. 10 seconds on the shot clock. Averett, a step back 3 is short. BYU just can't find buckets from distance. Alston down on the low block. Over Barcelo, another miss. Offensive board. Kijab gets 2 shots on this trip down the floor and a foul on BYU. And it's on Lowell as Acot, a menace on the glass.
Yeah, it's 2 offensive boards for Acot this time down the floor. And I'll tell you, his effort level's been phenomenal. But he comes out after this one, and he looks over at Leon Rice and says, pulls on his shirt and says, Coach, I'm giving it my all out here. I need a break for a minute, and rightly so. He's been going all out.
His first game last Friday was his first game in nearly 23 months. So he's still working on getting his game legs. High off the glass goes Alston. And he's got 4. 16-5 Boise State. Harward waiting for somebody to come help. Now it's Nell. Lowell. Here's Johnson, hands it over to Barcelo. Shot clock under 10. Barcelo really having trouble here tonight. Johnson has it slapped away and out of bounds. 2 seconds on the shot clock for BYU.
Boise State is playing those ball screens, especially when Barcelo has it, so aggressively. They're coming across and hedging full go on that, which means the guy who's setting the screen has got to immediately go hard to the bucket. There's no way for them to defend that hard and not allow the big guy to dive to the basket and get them into rotation. So bigs have to do a better job. If they're gonna defend that screen that hard, it's gonna be tough for the guards, but the big should be open diving to the basket.
A turnover on BYU as Lowell unaware of the shot clock. And now it's Milner waiting for Alston. Here he is. He's fouled, but no call. Lowell has it and has it taken away. Here comes Alston again. This time he finishes and he's fouled. He'll go to the line. And these are some tough minutes for Wyatt Lowell, and he's going to come out of the game. Alston will go to the line.
Watch Alston, so smooth out there, finishing and getting fouled.
Timeout, 8 minutes left in the half. 18-5 Broncos here on BYU TV. Shaylee Gonzalez and the BYU women's team open up at home tomorrow against Montana State. You can see it at 4 Eastern, 2 Mountain, live on the BYU TV app. That's tomorrow on the BYU TV app. Dave McCann, Blaine Fowler, and Spencer Litton here in Provo, where Boise State has handed it to BYU. It's 18-5. Just 8 minutes remaining here in the first half, and the Broncos are heading to the free throw line for the first time. Last year they set a school record 75.1%. So far this year 68.3. And Alston at the stripe, he's a perfect 10 for 10.
Yeah, he's the guy you want there. Look at the rotation on the ball. He's just got such a pretty shot. And right now, Boise State is out-physicaling BYU. A dramatic difference. They're going stronger to the ball. With BYU, they've got to be more physical. When they come to the ball, they have to come strong to the ball. They have to have strong hands. They have to play physical out there because Boise State is winning that battle, and they're doing it without fouling. They're playing great position and just playing strong.
And Dennis has just taken Barcelo out of the game. Here's Averett. Shot clock's at 5. Gonna have to put one up. Johnson in the lane. Leans, falls back, beats the shot clock, and he's got his first 2. Spencer Johnson played 18 minutes at Utah State on Saturday night. Scored a career high, well, 7 points on the road. And he has been a lift off the bench. Here he picks up his first foul.
Down there in the paint this time, he did a great job with his pivot foot. As he gets into the paint, he knows that clock is running down, and so ball fake, ball fake. See how he kept that left foot, the ball of his foot was nailed into the floor as he made multiple moves and finished. That was really well done. Averett
knocks the ball out of bounds. Johnson, a big-time scorer at American Fork High School and Salt Lake Community College. 7:18 to go. Here's Dennis. Alston. Now key jab. They work it around back to their money man, Alston. Over Johnson. And over the back is Milner. He picks up the foul. That'll be his second.
Caleb Lohner with good inside position that time. Forced that over the back foul.
Spencer, what do you got?
Guys, I was fully anticipating Mark Pope being ready to lose his mind in that last time out, but most of the yelling came from Alex Barcelo and continued for the duration, asking his teammates to just simply fight. There's got to be some fight if we're going to get back in this game, and you saw some there from Richard Harward. BYU needing to get more physical, as Blaine just pointed out, if they're going to have any chance to get back in this game, guys.
Thanks, Spencer. Lucas Milner picks up his third.
And Harward is the exact example of what you have to do. Up to this point, Boise State, they've been really physical, pushing guys out. BYU's been allowing themselves to get pushed out. That time, Harward said, I'm establishing a spot down here, and if you're going to push me, they're going to see it.
They go right into Harward.
That's physical.
Glass.
Right there is physical post play, and that's what BYU needs in a big, big way. Right
Armish guarding him. He's got 2 fouls. He's got to be a little careful. 19-9. Here's Armish with it. Rice matched up with Barcelo. Here's Dennis and Averett. Dennis drops down the jump shot.
Ray J. Dennis is a sophomore. out of Oswego, Illinois, Oswego High School, Oswego East High.
Averett swoops into the lane. Dennis gets his 4th point. Averett gets his first 2. And BYU in double figures. It didn't take, what, took until the 6-minute, 10-second mark. We've just not seen that for a long time around here. Mark Pope told us today, he goes, I think this team's going to be really good, but he said, we're going to have some painful moments.
He said we're a couple weeks away from that. He said that.
And this is one of the painful moments, this opening half. Shot clock is at 3. And off is Kejab. Had to just throw it up there to beat the shot clock.
Very well defended that time.
Johnson, here's Lohner. And he's fouled going up as he drives the basketball into the rim, and he'll earn a trip to the free throw line. A chance to get BYU within 8.
Lohner this season has been pretty solid from the free throw line, 6 of 8 as he toes the line here, and Lohner went up hard that time. He went up expecting to get fouled, and he's lucky that he did. He almost didn't create contact. To me, you go up to make the shot and worry about whether or not you get fouled. Don't go up expecting to get fouled.
Kejab picks up his first. Mass substitutions here as Lohner gets ready for a second shot. This will be as close as BYU's been in a long time. And one could argue, as bad as the Cougars have been, they are still in this game. As that one goes in, Lohner now with 2. And BYU's within 8.
Hey, Mark Pope wanted to see this. He wanted to see if they got in a tough situation like they did at USC, if this team would fight back. And right now, it's looking like they're going to answer that call and play physical and fight.
Dennis trying to shake Averett into the lane. A travel. And a turnover. Smith saw a wide open shot at a dunk. Yeah, he shuffle step before in his excitement.
It was such an open lane, he got a little bit too excited and shuffled his feet. An inside-out play, and the ball came. You see the double team, and he shuffled and then 1-2. He did a shuffle 1-2. It's great on the dance floor, not on the basketball floor.
8-2 BYU run. And they're doing it without the long ball here tonight, at least so far. Nell spotting up on the right side. Averett having a hard time shaking Dennis. Here's Johnson. We got a foul down low. It'll go against Boise State. The battle with Harward and Kejab. And Kejab picks up his second.
And I like what Harward has brought into the game. He's come in and he said, you need somebody to be physical? I got that. I got that. And he has been battling down low for that low block and causing Boise State some problems. And Harward, he's a big dude, 6'11". More importantly, 255 pounds down there getting after it.
Played high school football at Orem High School, and also a big body on the basketball team. Alston trying to maneuver around Johnson, and Johnson fouls him. This is a significant mismatch, and that's why we've seen Boise State go to it the last 3 trips down.
And Johnson was in perfect position right up until the shot. He cut Alston off at the baseline. He cut him off spinning back inside. All he needed to do at that point was go straight up and contest the shot. When Alston elevated, he slid his hip under and picked up the foul.
Alston, we mentioned, showed up on campus. There's his first miss of the season. He showed up on campus, a tall, skinny guy, 142 pounds. He's since put on 42 pounds.
That's amazing. And Leon told us, he goes, honestly, I didn't dare play him at first because I was afraid he was going to get hurt. He was that thin. And he has turned into, he said all he did was just keep showing up, keep grinding, and keep working, and then also eating. And then he's turned into a fantastic NBA prospect.
He's still the skinniest guy on the floor, but man, can he shoot. Harms is back in for the Cougars. Averett in trouble in the double team. Here's Nell. That shot's well defended, and Boise State has picked it up defensively, and here they come, leading by 9. Kejab leans into Harms. He's not rewarded. Here comes Averett.
And I like that the officials didn't reward him. He jumped into the defender, so the officials let the contact go, and I like that.
Bad pass from Harms, trying to feed Lohner. Another turnover. Alston, everyone just got out of his way, and he missed the layup. Now the Cougars come running. Still looking for a three-point shot here in this first half. Lohner's taking a couple. He's not going to take one here. Averett's taking a couple.
And Harms is working down there, and they need to reward him when he gets position. When he works that hard, when he's open, you got to get him the basketball.
Wild shot by Nell. 3:34 to go. 22-13. Boise State here on BYU TV.
Boise State up 22-13. Jerem Jordan alongside Tyler Haws. It was a 14-0 start for the Broncos, but BYU was countered with a 13-8 run. What changed?
Yeah, really slow start for the Cougs, but, you know, we started attacking. We started matching Boise State's toughness, and hopefully that continues.
Stats and highlights coming up in the break, guys. Still looking for Alex Barcelo to take a shot.
Still looking for a three-pointer to go down as well. Jerem, thank you. BYU 0 for 7. Shooting the long ball in their gym.
And the strategy for Boise State is they're going to play unbelievably physical with Barcelo. So when you come out and screen for him, they're going to double him. When he's coming off that screen, they're going to jump him on that hedge. They're going to be really physical with him and try to get the ball out of his hands. And that's the point where the bigs have to do a good job. Or spread the floor out and let Alex go one-on-one. And then let him come help and get into rotations.
Hunter Erickson checks in for BYU. Our score box is presented by Brady Industries. Supplies and service for cleaning and food service professionals. Brady Industries, honestly better. Erickson assigned with Acott. Acott moves into the lane and knocks in the one-hander. He's got 5. Harms regroups. Now he gets it back from Erickson. Double team. No one coming. Now Barcelo to the rescue. Into the corner. Harding for 3, and that one's not close. 0 for 8 shooting threes for BYU.
And guys have to make those open shots. If they're going to be that aggressive and rotating and helping to Alex Barcelo, basically what the Broncos are saying is somebody else is going to have to beat us. It's not going to be Barcelo. And when you get those open looks, you got to knock them down.
Dennis with the shot. Harms didn't challenge it, and he put it right over the 7-3 grad transfer. And now Boise State has withstood that run from BYU, and they're back up by 13 as Leon Rice calls a 30-second timeout.
And BYU right now is 5 of 18 from the field, 28%. And the only reason they're still in it is Boise State's only 38%.
Big Saturday coming up. Boise State and the BYU women at 2 o'clock Eastern time. And following that, we've got the top 100 plays in BYU football history. BYU and Utah in men's basketball at 6 Eastern time. Then we'll go down to LaVell Edwards Stadium for countdown to kickoff. And then BYU San Diego State on ESPN2 at 10 Eastern time. It's a big Saturday here on BYU TV, and we're looking forward to it. Barcelo into Harms. And Matt does what he does best when he gets the ball. He's got 7. He just hasn't gotten the ball much down there.
Well, and that time they came with a double team, but it was late. You remember the last time down the floor, they came immediately and made him give up the basketball. That time they allowed him to turn. Double team came too late, and he makes the shot.
Dennis spins away from Barcelo and is wide open. Drops in the shot. He's got 8. Under 2 minutes to go, 28-15. Harding weaves his way in. Gets fouled, and he'll go to the line. Connor Harding frustrated as he's not been able to find a shot to go down. And the free throw line has been much better for BYU as of late. They were 16 of 35 from the stripe in the first 2 games, 73% the last 4 as Dennis picks up his first.
In the first 2 games, the wrong guys were getting to the free throw line. In the last several, it's been the right guys getting to the free throw line. And
Harding struggling. That's his first miss from the free throw line this season. Now 5 of 6. We expected Boise to bring fight into this Marriott Center tonight. We did not expect BYU to shoot so poorly. First point of the game for Harding.
And credit Boise State's defense. They have been contesting almost every shot. And then when BYU's had open looks, it's like good looks are so hard to come by. They're rushing things.
Acott leaves it short. Another offensive rebound. Then off the glass is Alston.
He's just silky smooth. That beautiful floater off the glass.
10 points now for Alston. Barcelo, not only has he not made a shot, he hasn't taken a shot. Harms is long on the three. Your team leader, who averages 19 points a game, can't not take a shot in the first half. Alston leaves it short. Now here's Barcelo. Slapped away from behind, and another turnover. And Rice checks back in for Boise State. Johnson returns, and Erickson goes out for the Cougars. Mark Pope has struggled to find 5 guys on the floor he's been happy with here in the first half. Boise State's not even at full strength tonight. We mentioned Shaver is out. They've got another transfer from Arizona, Debonair Dutrev, and he's expected at the end of fall semester.
Right, he has to sit out this semester and then can come join.
When's everyone going to be back together? He goes, I have no idea. With COVID and transfers and injuries.
Leon's just like, hey, you just feel blessed to have what you have on the floor any given night. And I'll tell you, they haven't been shooting the ball well this year, but they've been defending, and they're not shooting it great tonight. But I'm telling you, they're defending like crazy tonight.
Absolutely. Barcelo's going to go to the line, and a chance to get his first points of the night. First foul on Rice, and 2 shots coming for Barcelo. Had 23 Saturday on the road at Utah State. Has his first point tonight with 44 seconds left in the half. Gideon George comes out, Lohner's in. Barcelo again. 4 points for Barcelo. 40 seconds to play. Dennis. Johnson on the rebound. Cougars can settle for the final shot.
The one advantage of not having a gym full of people is Mark Pope can just yell out the final play that he wants here.
Barcelo for 3, and it's a big one. The first 3 of the half for the Cougars. Still time for Dennis. He offers a 3. In and out. Thought he had it. And that 3-pointer, a Mountain America Credit Union 3-pointer for each 3 BYU makes this season. Mountain America Credit Union will donate $50 to the American Red Cross. The first of the half comes with just seconds remaining, and it gets BYU within 9, 30-21. Coming up, Jerem Jordan and Tyler Haws will recap the first half with stats and highlights and set the tone for the second. Boy, Boise State brought the fight early. The upside for BYU, they didn't get knocked out, and we'll be back with another round coming up. 30-21 Boise State here on BYU TV. Back at the Marriott Center, getting ready to start the second half with Boise State leading BYU 30-21. Dave McCann and Blaine Fowler. Credit Boise State. They came out, they put a blanket on Alex Barcelo, and until that 3-point shot at the end of the half, that was his first field goal of the game.
Now, we talked about this. Spencer addressed it in the open, and that is if teams are going to double him and play him really difficult and tough off of those screens, then other guys have to make shots. And then when other guys start knocking down shots, they have to back off of Alex Barcelo. Finally, at the end, he came off of a screen on the left wing and knocked down a 3. He got a couple of free throws as he was driving to the basket. They got to figure out a way to get him involved. And one of the best ways, hey, everybody else makes some shots, so they have to back off of this guy, right?
Matt Harms leads the Cougars with 7 points. And his shots didn't come easy either.
Yeah, they were really physical with Harms. Finally, BYU figured out a way to get him in behind the defense and get him a couple of lobs. He gets a three-point play the old-fashioned way here. And here in the post, they didn't come on the double team quick enough, and Harms that little jump hook. They need him to be a presence inside. That also can open things up on the outside for guys like Alex Barcelo. I'll tell you, Boise State was the aggressor in that first half, and they were more physical. BYU matched it at times, enough to stay in the game, but second chance points, Boise State +9. And you look at offensive rebounds, Boise State +4. Points off of turnovers, Boise State +6. All of those physical hustle type play things, Boise State leads in all those categories.
At Boise State, we'll have the ball as we start the second half, leading by 9. They jumped out to a 14-0 advantage, and BYU's been trying to claw back ever since.
Well,
Dennis has done a nice job running this offense.
Remember, BYU started 0 for their first 8. They shot 7 of their last 13, so they settled in a little bit better and found shots. And
Acott into the lane. Nobody there to help Barcelo, and he's got 7.
Acott now 3 of 8 from the field.
Here's Barcelo into the lane, off the glass. And Dennis comes out with it for the Broncos.
Yeah, BYU with just 1 offensive board in that first half.
Averett slaps the ball off of Kejab, and BYU gets it back. Fast hands of Averett.
Yeah, and see, it went right off of Kejab's foot after Averett smacked it away. Good call there.
Here's Barcelo. Shot clock's at 15. Lohner up for a 3, an air ball. And Caleb's shooting in this building really continues to struggle. 32-21. Now Averett picks up Dennis, trying to disrupt him as he marches down the floor.
Ray J. Dennis had a great first half. The plus-minus stat, they keep track of how your team fares while you're on the floor.
Blocked by Harms.
+12 for him in that first half.
And a reach by Acott. Acott saw the numbers, saw a layup coming, and says, I got a foul to give, and he picks up his second.
Yeah, Barcelo's about to turn the corner and attack the basket on that one, and he fouled. Good help defense that time by Harms. He got that one from 2 defenders away.
BYU shooting under 10% from the free throw line, from the three-point line. Now Harms running into a brick wall, trying to make a maneuver, gets into the lane, throws it up, and Armish is going to get the foul. Leon Rice is saying, I'd like the travel instead of the foul. And he doesn't get that argument, and Harms goes to the free throw line. He may have had a case. There was some positioning going on down low.
And the tough thing is Armish, who had a really good start to this game with his physical presence inside. Now that's his 3rd right here in the first couple of minutes of this second half. He picks up number 3.
Harms picked BYU over Kentucky in the sweepstakes of where he was going to go after picking up his degree from Purdue with a year of eligibility. He believed Mark Pope was the man that would help him prepare to get a job next year playing basketball. He gets 2, he's got 9, and it's 32-23.
And I'll say what I did at the end of that first half, and that is if BYU's going to get back in this thing, they're not just going to shoot their way back in. They got to get stops, which they're doing here in the second half.
Alston on the miss. And Averett gives it right back on the carry. 12 turnovers already for BYU. 23 points and 12 turnovers.
Just 6 turnovers for the Broncos to this point in the game.
Boise State will go home, play Santa Clara next Tuesday. BYU has Utah coming in here Saturday afternoon, 6 Eastern, 4 Mountain Time here on BYU TV. Acott shakes Barcelo, Lohner on the rebound. Broncos have started the second half cold. See if the Cougars can cash in. Barcelo to Harms. Now it's Averett. Harms on the move down low. Barcelo for three. Barcelo knocks it in. Great movement for the basketball. 8 points for Barcelo. It's a 6-point game.
And for Dennis, like, he worked as hard as you can work, but great ball movement is what made that open shot available for Barcelo.
And Kejab is fouled by Lohner.
Ball goes all the way inside. So Averett comes off of a ball screen and on the pick and roll gets it down to Harms. Now the defensive rotations are going. He kicks it to the opposite corner. Quick pass. The extra pass to Barcelo. That was perfection on offense.
First foul on Lohner. Harward returns and Harms goes out. Dennis over Harward. High off the glass and in. Beautiful shot. 10 points for Dennis. Milner now dealing with Harward. Harward up with the baby hook. Barcelo trying to keep it alive. Aycott's got it. And we got an offensive foul.
You know what?
On
That's
Aycott.
I was waiting for that. That was a really good call. Aycott tried to move sideways into Barcelo in the backcourt, and then he did it again in the front court, and they called it. And watch Aycott. He is the one that creates the contact. Barcelo's just trying to get out of the way, and Aycott bumps into him, trying to get a foul called, and that's a good call by the official.
Aycott's third. He sits down. Aycott and Barcelo were teammates at Arizona a few years ago. Reunited here with Boise State and BYU in 2020. Lohner on the drive. This is Johnson back into the lineup. Harding looking for a lane. Back to Barcelo. Shot clock's at 10. And the fast hands of Dennis steal it away. And then he finishes at the rim.
Boy, that's a great elevation right over the top of the defender to finish there.
12 points for Dennis. Good defense, and BYU lazy with the basketball. The lead back to 10. Barcelo goes up high. A whistle and a foul. And he's going to go to the line.
And Dennis with the steal there. That was a foul before the steal. Barcelo coming, he jumped in front. Great footwork up to this point, but on that one, he definitely body fouled before the steal, but I love the finish on the other end.
Dennis picks up the foul, his second. BYU was within 6. Now Barcelo up to 9 points. Averett not on the bench very long. He's going to check back in. Armish is back in for Boise State. Barcelo gets 1 of 2. Rice up for 3. Big shot off the bench and knocks down his second 3 of the game. Here's Harding. Passes, hands it to Lohner. Harward on the rebound and put back.
Second chance points, not a lot of those. That's 4 points now for Harward. Didn't get a bunch of those in the first half.
Get a feeling where Harding's confidence is. That's usually a shot going up. Here's a shot going up. Lohner bringing it down. 39-29. 4.5 minutes gone here in the second half. Harding. And a foul. This will go against Boise State. And it's Alston. And Alston picks up his first timeout. 10-point lead, Boise State here in Provo on BYU TV. Our Sports History Showcase is brought to you by the BYU Store, official outfitter of BYU fans everywhere. Last week, the Cougars 3 games in 5 days. USC beat them up pretty good, 79-53, as BYU could not hit an outside shot. Next day, the Cougars bounced back and beat St. John's, 74-68. 10 Cougars with 10 points or more. And Saturday night, BYU went up to Logan and beat Utah State 67-64 to improve to 5-1. That shot right there, Connor Harding, was the big one. And you see BYU's 5-1 start.
Yeah, when BYU has been at least 5 wins in their first 6 games, this has been the result. And the 18-19 season started 5-1 and then faded, didn't qualify. But in other seasons, you've got NCAA tournaments, a second round. You got a Sweet 16 appearance with that Jimmer team.
Yeah, that was a pretty good team, wasn't it? Knocked out of bounds off of Boise State, so BYU will keep it with 17 seconds on the shot clock. Wyatt Lowell back into the game for the Cougars. And the Cougars turn it over. And now Averett with a reach-in foul.
And a good job that time by Rice, anticipating the pass and coming in and getting to it. And there's the foul at the end of it, as Averett trying to go and get the ball back.
Second foul on Averett. Leon Rice talking with the officials. Not sure what about. He's not happy with something. Vern Harris over to straighten it out. Whether Vern's right or wrong, he's going to win this argument.
And Vern came over, and Leon was asking, why does it not restart? And Vern came over and he said, Leon, it's a new rule. We're implementing it correctly. And then Leon just went, okay, okay. And I like that Vern came over and explained it.
Dennis. Here's Alston. Now they go right into Armish, working Harward. A lot of whistles when those two are matched up, and Harward picks up the foul this time, his first. And that'll send Armish to the free throw line.
And Harward did a really nice job of fighting for position and getting position. And then the problem was, instead of just taking that right arm and extending it straight up, he put it over the top of Armish, and Armish jumped up through his arm. You gotta let the guy with the ball go vertical, but you can go vertical, and that's all he needed to do there, and that would have been a missed shot.
Armish is 6 of 8 on the season from the free throw line. Missed the first. Here comes the second. Gets that one to go. His first point of the game. He comes out. Milner checks back in. The lead back to 11. With Barcelo out, where is the offense going to come from? Averett. High off the glass. Tipped up and in by Harward. 6 points for Harward.
Harward with a couple of putbacks here in the second half, and I like that Averett attacked the rim that time.
And Averett down there to knock the pass away, but we've got a foul before against Boise State.
Harward taking the charge. So Harward gets a hustle play down on the offensive glass and tips the ball in. He runs all the way down into the paint and then slides over to take a charge here. Man, you love it when your big guys are working like that.
Kejap picks up his third. He and Alston come out. Back to Averett. Lob for Harward. Into the corner. Johnson open for three, and he buries it. And we got a foul on the rebound. The shot's going to count, and the foul is going to go against Harward for a throwdown, and that'll be his second.
And the ball was released, so they're going to count the shot. Look, Harward just looks like a tough guy. He's got a little bit of a black eye going under there. And I think Mark Pope will say, you know what, I'm okay if Harward got a foul on that one. So this is him after the play, and see he tried to get inside position to get another offensive rebound. I'm completely, if I'm Coach Pope, I'm like, finally somebody is getting physical out there.
Johnson just the second Cougar to make a three-point shot tonight. And BYU back as close as they've been in a long time. Beautiful dish from Rice to Milner. He's off the glass for his first two.
Good decision by Rice that time. Broke the defense down, got the rotation to come over to help, and then found the open guy. Really well done.
Harding left open. Drops the shot just inside the arc for two. And Connor's first field goal of the night. He's got three. Rice.
Oh, how good was that?
Smooth game.
That was like a runner floater. Like, he didn't even jump up. He just got it off quick before the shot blocker could get there.
8 points for Rice. Harward double teamed. Now just single. It's Milner and no match for Harward. The help defense went away, and Harward went right around the corner for his 8th point.
Once it became one-on-one, you just didn't have the Milner just doesn't have the size, the weight to be able to hold Harward back, and that's why they've got to get Armish back in the game. He's at the scorer's table ready to come back in.
Dennis working on Averett. Wanting to clear out. Harward staying close by. Beautiful pass. Harward left his man, and Milner dunks in his 4th.
And if Harward comes over to help, then the backside, the weak side defender has to drop down into the post and be the help defender on that backside. Not a good rotation that time for BYU.
We got a foul down low. This is going to go against Boise State as Milner and Harward were getting after each other. Milner picks up his 4th.
Well, as soon as that help left, Harward used that big body to spin off and get right to the front of the rim. And then this is Milner on the other end. As Harward left Milner to go help, weak side defender didn't come down and drop down into that post and cut Milner off.
So Harward went to the free throw line, and he's waiting for the ball. Nell's back in, so's Barcelo. Great stretch for Harward. You see the foul situation starting to add up for Boise State. Harward not a great free throw shooter. Back we come the other way. 8-point lead for the Broncos. NCAAM, now they go down to Armish, and he'll work on Harward. And this will be an offensive foul. And that'll be number 4 on Armish. And Boise State just can't deal with Harward.
And let's watch it down here. Armish is determined. And you want to know what? That's a good call. That's an excellent call. I wasn't sure when I saw it in full speed. There's no question Armish lowered his shoulder and created that contact as Harward was just standing stationary and giving up ground. That was a good call.
Harms back in and Harward's out. They've got an advantage size-wise here. Let's see if they feed it. Johnson and Nell. They look to Harms. Into the lane. Left hand. It crawls in. And it's back to 6. Harms with 11. Several times now, BYU's cut the deficit to 6, and Boise State's had an answer. Acott on the drive. Whistle and a foul. This will go against BYU. It'll be Barcelo, his 2nd. Harms convinces that one to go in. It's a 6-point game here on BYU TV. Catch the latest in Cougar sports with Spencer Linton and Jerem Jordan tomorrow on BYU Sports Nation. Recap of tonight's game. A look ahead to Saturday night's football game against San Diego State with Bracken El Bakri. High noon tomorrow Eastern Time on BYU TV, BYU Radio, and the apps. Dave McCann, Lane Fowler, and Spencer Linton here at the Marriott Center tonight. 11:30 to go. Boise State leading by 6. They have led from the very start. Jumped out 14-0. Milner. Here's Smith. Acott with it. Knocked out of bounds with 3 seconds on the shot clock as Trevin Nell bats the ball away.
That's where you try out of the out-of-bounds play to get it to Alston if you can. He's got the length to shoot over the top of a defender. Just catch it and get it up.
Acott's going to take it and leave it short. Out with it is Nell. Johnson another 3. He's 2 for 2. And BYU is within 3. 8 points for Johnson. This is as close as the Cougars have been since it was 3-0. And Milner's fouled by Lohner. Lohner late to the position. We can hear Mark Pope shouting instructions over. He said the thing with Caleb is he's learning on the fly, and he's so fun to coach, but he's trying to figure it all out. Now remember, Gavin Baxter isn't here, out with that injury, and so now Lohner's in the starting 5 all of a sudden for a freshman.
Yeah, and those defensive rotations, they're tough to learn. Alston did a really nice job that time. He saw Harms, the shot blocker, coming over, And then Lohner didn't get down. That weak side defender that's got to get down and take away that pass was Lohner that time, and Alston read the D well.
Lohner's out. Lowell is in. Milner banked in that first shot, his first free throw make of the season. And the second one looks a little better. 6 points.
Once you bank one in, then they all get easy.
Lowell for three. Wyatt Lowell's first three. It's a 2-point game. His third on the season, first on the night. Dennis. Acott in the corner. Falling away over Nell. Harms is fouled on the rebound. And the foul's on Milner, and that'll be his 5th. And so the 6'10 junior will have to take a seat. Armish, who's also 6'10, is going to come in. He's got 4.
And for Boise State, BYU's picked up the intensity defensively. They got to be a little more patient. Instead of shooting an off-balance one-on-one shot, one more pass, 2 more passes, be patient and get an open shot. And they're a little too anxious right now as BYU has upped the pressure defensively.
Harms at the line. Spencer.
Guys, Armis has just checked back in with 4 fouls because Milner obviously cannot match up physically. That said, Mark Pope and his staff concerned about Milner and the BYU defense getting a little bit lax there with Milner on the floor. So they wanted to shore things up defensively in the post. And here's another turnover, Dave.
Thanks, Spencer. Neal over to Johnson. Off balance, tapped alive by Lowell to Barcelo. He's up for 2. We're tied at 48 with 10 minutes to go.
A hustle play by Wyatt Lowell gets BYU second chance point. Him punching that ball out to Barcelo was a big time play.
11 for Barcelo. Nell coming around. Going to pick up the foul. Trying to bust through that screen. That's the first on Nell. So what started as a 14-0 Boise State lead has finally been erased, and we're even at 48. And where has Derek Alston gone here in the second half for the Broncos?
BYU's done a nice job of playing him before he gets the ball and making him really work to even get the basketball. And then everybody's aware of where he is on the floor. So a lot of help defense on him.
10-3 run for the Cougars. Acott gets them both. He's got 9, and the Broncos are back in the lead. Johnson has been a spark off the bench with a couple of second half 3-pointers. He's got the ball. Nell waits for Harms, hands it to Lowell, and Lowell is off on the 3. Acott with it. Now Dennis.
Oh, what a shot by Dennis. He has been superb in this basketball
16
game.
points. 2 shy of a season high at 18 against Houston.
And that one was right over the 7-3 shot blocker, but he got it off quick and threw it high off the glass. What a shot.
Johnson, the lane opens up. He lays it in off the glass.
And how good has Johnson been off the bench for BYU?
10 points.
And it's on both ends of the floor. He's played solid defense as well. He's the one that's been face guarding Alston all over the floor on defense.
4 of 5 from the field is Johnson. Acott with it. Key jab. Lots of one-on-one here in the second half for the Broncos. Armis on the rebound over Harms. And tipped back up and in. Might have been off a BYU player. Lead back to 4 for Boise State.
I think Kejab is going to get the credit for that when he was closest to it, and his hustle is what got it in there.
Lob for Harms. He's held up, and if that's on Armish, that's his 5th. And Armish has fouled out. So the 2 6'10 big bodies for Boise State. Their nights have come to an end with 8 minutes and 11 seconds to go. That shifts the inside advantage to BYU. In the first half, there was no inside advantage for the Cougars. We've got a timeout while our officials come to the monitor. to look over how this last play played out. First time tonight where foul trouble now has created a niche into how this might play out.
And I'll tell you, Armish, if there's any way he can stay on the floor, it would be huge for Boise State. They're looking to see if Harms hooked him, and he's been a force in there, and they have not been as good with him not on the floor here during these periods in the second half, because they just can't match anywhere on that bench. Leon Rice doesn't have anybody that matches the physicality of this guy in the paint.
Vern Harris, Delrick Carr, and Kevin Brill. We bring in a set of fresh eyes to take a look at this. BYU's 9 of 11 from the field, their last 11 shots. And let's take another look. Blaine, you be the judge here.
Watch Harms. Does Harms hook him and hold him? I think his arm was just there, and unless it's way earlier than that, I think that, let's watch.
It's like two heavyweights.
Yeah,
they're holding each other. Who knows who?
What they're looking to see is if Harms deliberately hooked him, you know, like he held him in. Hard to tell from that angle. Hard to tell from the other angle. Two big guys. These guys have been battling all night long.
They're taking their time because this is a significant development.
When you look at it from that angle, it looks as if it looks as if Armish has his arm wrapped around Harms, and Harms is just extending the arm.
All right, Vern Harris is done looking at the video. He's the captain of this crew, and they're meeting again at center court. Now he's going to come over the scores table. Blaine, listen in here. He's got a mask on, so we can't hear him very well. 15th meeting between these two. BYU leads it 9-5. And now Vern's going to address every member of the scorers table one by one. Everyone's spread out due to COVID, and not as easy as it used to be. We used to be able to read his lips from here, Blaine.
I can't read Vern's lips, and normally we're closer, and Vern could come up and talk to us about what they're looking at as well.
The officials are saying we should be at a media timeout at the 8-minute mark, but there's 8:11 to go. We're kind of hoping for an explanation. Let's see if the public address.
Yeah, he's like, we're supposed to be at a media timeout.
Hey, well, we're not. We're right here, and we're not going anywhere.
We're waiting to hear what they decide. I don't know that there was anything that they saw in there that would allow them to reverse that call, unless they just said we're gonna change it to a no call.
All right, Vern's coming back over. Look at this, life with a mask. No one can hear anyone from point-blank range. Blaine, ask Duff Tittle, who's right in front of you, what Vern Harris just told him. And we'll pass that information on to you here in just a second. All right, Blaine, got your headset back on. What'd you find out?
Yeah. So he said they're gonna call a hook and hold on Armish on this one, which is a flagrant one, and that's what I was looking for, and I couldn't tell if early on there if one or the other actually hooked and held, but the foul will go on Armish.
So Armish is fouled out, and now Harms is at the free throw line, and BYU's got a golden opportunity here to erase a 4-point deficit.
Yeah, and with the hook and hold, remember last year they changed this rule where the hook, if you hook somebody purposely, then it's a flagrant, and you get the free throws and the ball.
So Harms from the stripe hits the free throw. We apologize for the delay, but with masks on, there's just no way to know what's going on.
And usually Vern would come right over and talk to us, but we're back on the second row. You and I are spread out 15 feet apart. I'm not sure Vern even knows where to go with that. And we're trying to read his lips through a mask, but they were looking for a hook on either of the players. They determined that there was a hook and hold on Armish, so it's a flagrant one. He fouls out, and then BYU gets the free throws and the ball.
And Mark Pope puts Harward right back in without a 6'10" guy to get in his way as Nell misses the three. Wide open, clean look. But now we got a foul on Acott, tied up with Harward. And let's see if it's a double foul. Leon Rice is out here at center court. He can't believe what's going on here. So the foul will go against Acott and Harward. A double foul.
He's going to call a double foul. And Nell's not going to get a better look than that ever.
The double foul gives Acott his fourth. It's much more damaging than Harward's third.
That is a big... And I don't know, as I'm watching that quickly on the replay, they just got tangled up with one another. I think a no call would have been the thing to do there. And,
timeout. Leon Rice wants to call a timeout. He wants to get his opinion in the ear of the officials, settle his guys down. Broncos lead it by 3 with 8:05 to play here on BYU TV. Back in Provo, Spencer Johnson has been a lift here in the second half. He's 4 of 5 from the field, couple of three-pointers, 10 points for BYU.
Yeah, 2 for 2 from 3. And I think he's had just as big an impact on the defensive end of the floor, where he put some really nice minutes out there defending Alston and has done a nice job. What a great boost off the bench for BYU.
10 points in 10 minutes for Johnson. Here's BYU first half compared to the second half. And Blaine, you said they needed to show some fight, and they needed to hit some shots, and clearly they're doing that so far.
And it's on the defensive end where they really pick things up, and Boise State and BYU now both in the 40s. So Boise State shooting 43%, BYU 45% for the game right now. Remember when they were both down in the 30s? Teams shooting the ball better, but BYU started to match the physicality, especially with Harward in the middle, that Boise State has been bringing this entire game.
Our officials have still not gotten over this play, and they've discussed it during the entire timeout looking at video, and they called a double foul, which is what they did initially, and they're going to stand by that. That gives Acott his fourth. 2 Broncos are already out, and it gives Harward his third.
They called it, and there was contact there, and so now they think they probably have to stay with it. But I would have been completely good with no call at all on that.
Right.
I think the guys got tangled up with another. This is a very physical basketball game. They fall to the floor, okay. Just tell the guys to get up and run down the floor. And this is certainly a bigger disadvantage with Acott picking up his fourth than it is for BYU with Harward with his third. That's a tough one.
Dennis matched up with Averett. And we've got another whistle. And there's the first shot attempt for Alston in like an hour. But there's a foul against Connor Harding away from the ball, and that's his first.
Alston right now 4 of 10 from the field. He's 2 of 3 from the line. He's got 10 points, but man, it's been a quiet 10 points, and BYU has done a really good job of keeping him away from the ball.
Dennis 50% on the season from the stripe, gets the first to go down. BYU battled all the way back, tied it at 48, and now the Broncos are back up 55-51. And Dennis can match his season high with this shot here. 18 on the road at Houston, and 18 on the road in Provo.
Say the same thing about Dennis that I did about Johnson. I think some of his best work, even though he's got 18 points, has been on the defensive end on Barcelo. He's done a phenomenal job of just tracking him all over the floor and using his quickness to give him problems.
Key moments for BYU after battling all the way back. It took a lot of energy to do it. Barcelo for 3. And on the rebound, key jab. 7.5 to go. Open look for 3. Harward can't get out in time, and key jab drops a 3. What a sequence for key jab, and the lead's back to 8. They continue to frustrate Barcelo. Lohner with it. Now Averett on the drive, left open, little shot left short, tipped up by Lohner. We got a foul against BYU. And Harward's quickly picked up his fourth.
And I thought that foul was going to be on Lohner, who came over the top to get that tip. Instead, it was Harward, who was right behind Lohner, and he gets his fourth now.
Harward's coming out. Johnson's checking back in. Harms is back in. And now we march into the other end. And Key jabs at the line. And everyone's waiting for a basketball. And then what's Vern Harris saying? Oh, no, he's going to send Harms out to not let him check back in yet. So Harward's back off the bench. And really been an ugly last 10 minutes in this basketball game in just about every form.
Well, and there's 10 team fouls, so this is a 2-shot foul, so the substitution can't happen until after the first free throw. And now Harms can come in.
Johnson
can come in, and that's what Vern Harris was asking. He's like, was that the 10th team foul? It's a 2-shot foul, so the substitution can't happen until after this first free throw.
How about the Broncos? They're back by 9. The free throw here can put them back up double digits. They have answered BYU's run. Free throws off, Lohner on the board, and the lead stays 9. BYU had a much better flow on offense with Johnson on the floor. He's back in as Harms turns around and throws it in with the left hand.
And that thing was like a downhill jump hook. That thing didn't have to be much arc on the ball because he was already up above the rim when he released that thing.
Harms with 14. Key jab, passes on that 3, hands it back to Dennis. Into the lane, swatted by Harms, but he got contact before the shot. He'll go to the line and shoot 2. Harms is doing the math in his head. He goes, I'm 7'3". Dennis is 6'2". So how did I get hit with a foul? But it was down.
What happened? It was that hip on the hip of Harms, who Harms was coming into the verticality of the shot maker there, and it was a problem. And I'll tell you what, Dennis has played phenomenal. And he just went straight up. Dennis went straight up. He didn't jump into Harms. Harms is the one that created that contact, and it was on the hip.
Acott comes out for the moment with those 4 fouls. And Smith is back in. Now a season high 19 for Dennis. Lead back to 8 for Boise State. Barcelo waits for Harms.
Every time Barcelo touches it, Dennis is there on the catch. He's right there.
Johnson. Averett looks into Lohner. 10 seconds on the shot clock. Now it's Harms. Johnson drives baseline. He's cut off. He's in trouble. Shot clock's at 1. Barcelo for 3. Barcelo with 14.
What
and
a
the
shot.
lead cut to 5 on that shot.
Situational awareness. He knew what was left on the shot clock and lined that thing up.
Key jab to answer, and he hits his second 3 in as many minutes.
Back
11
to back.
points. BYU too slow getting out. Barcelo. Now Lohner. Johnson. Harms left open. He can shoot the 3 as well. Harms gets it back from Averett. Nice recovery and off the glass. Harms with 16. It's a 6-point game. Boy, Dennis looks gassed. He has been going full.
I'll tell you what, this guy has played a game. He's been phenomenal on offense, and his energy on defense, he's been relentless on the defense, but I don't know how he's even standing out there.
Key jab is fouled by Lohner, going right past him. And he'll have free throws coming up. How about this to beat the shot clock?
Yeah, 2 seconds left when he catches the ball, and he knows exactly what he's got to do. Nothing but the bottom of the, he caught a little rim on the front of the rim. Great shot.
3rd foul on Lohner. Again, last season, free throw line was the best friend of Boise State. Shot a school record. Tonight, not so much. In this season, not so much, as Key jab misses the first. 75% last year on the season. Came in at 68%. Will drop a little bit there as Harward's back in. Harms goes out.
Key jab with 11 in this game, and as we mentioned, he missed his first 2 threes, and he's made back-to-back here in the last couple of minutes.
12 points now. 65-58. We're under 5 minutes to go. Barcelo over to Averett. Johnson comes around the corner. Barcelo for 3. Another monster shot for Barcelo. 17 now. He hit his first field goal at the end of the first half. And now he is heating up at just the right time. 4:30 to go. 4-point game here on BYU TV. Alex Barcelo is 5 of 7, 4 of 5 from 3. And Blaine, we mentioned he only had 1 shot in the first half. It's the only shot he took.
Yeah, and Boise State decided they're going to come. They're going to play unbelievably physical, especially with him. They're going to go over the top of screens. They're going to help every time he touches the basketball. Dennis has done a phenomenal job. But, hey, credit to Barcelo, because with all of that, he's still got energy out there, and he's still playing, and he's matching the intensity, and now he's knocking down shots. 5 of 7, 4 of 5 from 3. And I'll tell you, this is where the pandemic and not having fans just kills you.
Yeah.
Because ask Gonzaga what it's like when BYU comes back in the second half of a game and they're on a run. You can't breathe in this building when there's 20,000 people here, and it gives the home team energy to sustain a drive, and it just pushes you down as a visiting team. BYU doesn't have that here tonight. It's like playing a scrimmage with nobody here.
Shot no good by Barcelo. Key-Jab has hit 1 big shot after another for Boise State, and Rice clears it out and hands it back to Dennis. Six-point lead. Alston has been a non-factor here in the second half, at least to this point. He's got it going back door. Barcelo hits the ground, and Alston picks up his second foul.
That was good help defense that time. Barcelo knew it was coming. He slid over there, got in position to take the charge. Excellent.
Spencer.
Not having much energy with no fans in the building. You have to wonder how much energy BYU lost after making it all the way back to tie the game, and then those long stoppages. The coaching staff just challenged BYU to bring that energy again, even though they had to work through some stoppages as Alex Barcelo was fouled. So we'll see if BYU can find enough in the tank again to not just tie the game but climb over the top, and that's a real thing mentally for a team to have to expend so much energy to be able to have enough to go over the top. Dave?
Thanks, Spencer. Key-Jab picks up his 4th, so he's got 4. Acot's got 4. Milner's fouled out, and Armish has fouled out. And a big miss by Barcelo at the free throw line.
And you have to wonder how tired he is right now with all that he's had to go against here. You know, and to tag on to Spencer's point, it's when you have one of those comebacks and you feel like you don't have any energy left that the crowd lifts you for another minute or two, and you don't have that. That hurts. That's home court advantage is taken away when you can't have fans in your building.
67-62. Lane opens up. Acot loses the ball, but it's off BYU, and the Broncos keep it. Every possession so important now. 3:16 to go. Key-Jab. He's hit 2 threes here in the second half. He won't challenge Harms here. Rice, nice dish.
Oh, what a play.
Derek Alston with a dunk.
Rice makes the right decision. He always makes the right decision.
Alston's first bucket of the second half. Under 3 minutes to go. Boy, what a big shot that was. Johnson, Barcelo flashed open for 3. The pass just behind him, so he takes it in for 2. And it's back to a 5-point game. Timeout, Mark Pope with 2:42 to go. 20 points now for Alex Barcelo.
And for BYU, this is about stops now. They've got to get stops. They got stops to get back in the game. Now they got to get stops down the stretch.
Back here live at the Marriott Center at 69-64. Boise State with 2:42 to go. Dennis has 19 to lead the Broncos.
He's been phenomenal on both ends. Barcelo's been phenomenal on both ends for BYU. Alex Barcelo is 4 of 5 from 3. The rest of BYU's team is 3 for 15. I mean, he's carrying them on his back right now.
Aycott's got it. Transfer from Arizona, Wasatch Academy. He's guarded by Lohner, also from Wasatch Academy. Here's Dennis. Keyjab flashing down low. Go to Alston. Shot clock's at 9 over Johnson. And Averett brings it down for BYU.
Good defense that time, forcing a tough over-the-top contested shot out of Alston from the corner.
Barcelo with it as we near 2 minutes in a 5-point game. Averett lobs for Harms. Harms is off the glass, and it's a 3-point game. 18 now for Harms.
Pick and roll, and Harms getting the ball on the end of that pick and roll.
Dennis and Averett. One shot separates these two. Aycott trying to get past Lohner, and a reach-in foul on the freshman. That'll be his 4th. And that is a mismatch that Boise State has gone to a number of times. And Lohner's got a piece of Aycott now for the 4th time. And Aycott's at the line.
Lohner that time, his footwork was good. He was in good position to just play D. And if he doesn't reach, that's a tough shot.
First one off the mark. 1:35 to play.
Aycott, that's his first miss. He was 2 for 2. Now 2 for 3 from that free throw line. 9 points for Aycott.
His second game in 23 months. Played last Friday. He's got 10 points here tonight. 4-point lead. Boise State. Averett works into the lane, left open just enough to drop it in. It's 70-68. 4 points for Averett. 1:13 to play. Rice. Aycott gives it back to Keyjab. Under a minute to play here in Provo. Keyjab. Rice recovers, throws over Harms, and Averett on the rebound. And the Cougars can tie with a 2. They have not led in this game. Here's Barcelo. Into the lane, it opens up, he's off the glass. We're tied at 70 with 37 seconds to go.
7-second differential between the shot clock and the game clock here. So
22 for Barcelo. Now Dennis going to work some clock here. All tied up at 70. And go back to last year.
Leon going to take a timeout here.
Last year in Boise, it was all tied up. And Jake Toulson missed a shot at the buzzer. We went to overtime. And here we are a year later. Same scenario as Averett drops it in.
Yeah, we see Averett. Now watch Barcelo as he turns the corner. Watch Harms. Harms was sealing inside. That kept the inside help defender from coming. The outside help couldn't get there. Barcelo saw that seam. It was a good move by Harms to seal inside to give Barcelo the pathway to the basket. So now if you're Boise State, do you go with a hot hand or do you go with your superstar? Do you go with Alston, who just missed a shot from the corner? Alston is 5 of 12.
He's made a dunk in the second half and flat out disappeared outside of that. Yeah. Very similar to the Houston game where he struggled with the defense.
And Dennis has been solid with the basketball. He's 19 points. He's 8 of 12 from the field.
Keyjab has hit some big shots here in the second half.
Down the stretch, he's been good. Keyjab is 5 of 11 in the game.
Where you hurt for Boise State is on the glass. You got the two 6'10" kids out, and with fouls, and then Aycott's got 4. There's only so much he can do. If there's going to be overtime, you need some guys.
Yeah, you got to have some guys in overtime, and
we've had a lot of whistles called too, and a lot of free throws shot Do they go in and challenge for a whistle to go to the line?
Yeah, do you try to get fouled or do you attack? I think you do attack, and if BYU cuts you off and rotates, you find the open guy. Hey, I love Rice on the perimeter, shooting a shot. He's a guy that seems to want to be in the moment. You attack the basket and kick it, have Rice sitting on the backside if you can't get to the rim or get fouled. Dennis has the ball.
Lane opens up. He passes out. Open three, top of the key. Got it! 73-70, 10 seconds to go. BYU's got to have a three, and Mark Pope calls a timeout. And what a shot by Emmanuel Akon. Big-time high school recruit out of Wasatch Academy, went to Arizona for a season and a half, transferred to Boise State, and he nails the three-pointer.
And it's his third attempt from out there in this ball game. He was 1 for 2, and he said, you know what, you're going to leave me open? I will take this shot. And Boise State did just what we said. Dennis had the ball in his hands. He drove. When the help defense came, he found the open shooter. It was Akon. Great read by Dennis. I can't tell you how well he has played in this ball game. Great defense on all game long. Good decision maker. He's been a scoring guard in this one with 19 points. But that decision right there was the best decision of the game for him.
7.5 seconds to play. BYU hasn't lost at home since November 9th of 2019. 16-game winning streak on the line here. And now the Cougars have got to free up a three-point shooter.
Yeah, and the problem for the Cougars were all Boise State needed to do was to get a score, and you had to rotate and stop the two. Boise State has the luxury now of being able to defend the perimeter. They know BYU has to have a three with 7.5, so they're not going to rotate real hard on anybody that's driving. So BYU's got to move the ball on the perimeter, screen on the perimeter is perhaps what they're going to do, because the threat of driving to the bucket and getting a two is not a threat right now.
If you're just joining us, BYU fell behind 14-0 out of the gate. They tied it at 48, have tied it at 70. They've never led, and now they got 7.5 seconds to go, and they need a three-pointer to force overtime.
And if you're Boise State right now, you probably switch the screens, and Leon Rice is looking to see who BYU puts out on the floor, and you probably switch the screens right now so that you don't have anybody screened off. You just say switch on every ball screen, get a hand up. Worst case scenario, BYU makes a three, and it's a tie ball game and you go to overtime. And so I would switch the threes, stay on your feet, get a hand up, contest the three, and force BYU to make that shot to take into overtime.
Averett is 0 for 3 shooting threes. Harms is 0 for 1. Nell is 0 for 1. All outstanding shooters. We watched them in practice shoot lights out. Matt Harms, outstanding shooter at 7-3. We've watched him hit one shot after the other.
And some people would say, well, right now do you just foul BYU and put them on the line for two rather than even give them the opportunity to get the three? The problem with that is you don't have your two big guys in there to get a rebound on a make the first free throw and miss the second one. BYU could put a 6'11", 7'3" guy in there. I say you play straight up D here.
Here comes Barcelo, hands it to Averett, gets it back. Barcelo for the tie, off the mark. Boise State on the rebound, and a foul is called. And the foul's going to go against BYU. Trevin Nell. Rice took a big hit. And let's take another look.
And just off the back of the iron, and Boise State did what we said. They decided to just straight up defend and force BYU to make it, not foul. I like that strategy.
There'll be some free throws coming for Rice as Nell banged into Rice and knocked him down. Nell picks up the foul with 1.9 to go. 73-70. BYU got a good look, just off the mark. And now the coach's son, Max Rice, seals it from the line. About that relationship, Leon Rice said, at home I call him Max, at practice I call him number 12.
I love that. And he missed that on purpose, by the way, so BYU had to rebound it.
Boise State comes into Provo, and they get a huge victory, defeating BYU 74-70 in a game they never trailed, and a very difficult loss for the Cougars as they drop to 5-2. Boise State improves to 3-1, and they earned it right from the start.
They came, and in that first half, they were significantly more physical and more aggressive to the ball and got that big lead. BYU took a long time to adjust and then extended a lot of energy to come back. To BYU's credit, they did adjust, and they brought it. Harward brought it, Johnson brought it, and then everybody joined in, and just not enough gas in the tank to win it down the stretch.
Our assist of the game is presented by eAssist Dental Health Education Foundation, reminding you dental cleanings are essential for your health. Dennis with the big assist. Game's tied, time winding down. Acott pops a 3, and Boise State wins it with that shot. They add a free throw, 74-70. Exciting finish. Very similar to the football game the other night, where right from the start things didn't go right. The Cougars had a chance at the end. They fall short, and we salute Boise State. They win it 74-70. Post-game show is coming up next. For Blaine Fowler and Spencer Linton, I'm Dave McCann. Boise State wins it tonight here in Provo.